We are here. We are here for Monday Night Live Chat. This is our first episode in about a few weeks, but we are back, and I did not see the countdown because I was looking at something else. But yes,
forever.
Yes, happy Tuesday. I know the show is called Monday Night Live Chat, but I actually had internet down. There was no way I could have done it yesterday. We've had a crazy amount of rain in Colorado, and then it's been so bad that anytime that internet does go down, it's all due to that. We didn't have internet for a good 16 hours.
By the way, all the comments are blowing up with who is the person in the screen. That is Steve. He just is clean shaven, so you guys aren't recognizing him. He does not look like a flagrant,
or, as my wife would call me, homeless
street person. Yes.
Yep.
That's a PC way to say it.
Thank you. It's nice of you.
No one's actually said anything yet, but they will now that we've said that.
Nobody cares.
Everybody cares. Are you kidding me?
No,
you can get a haircut.
I did get a haircut.
You look like 10 years younger.
I was going for this thing where I was going to grow it out and, trying to look different, but then it just wasn't working out too nice. And just was not working out at all.
I am still growing mine out because I don't know what to do with it yet. So it just is getting bigger and bigger.
This is your same hairdo for the past how many years? Would you say 10, 20?
No. So this hair, I have the faux hawk forever, and then I just started growing it out, and I'm going to do something with it. I just don't know what. And I got a haircut today. So
you got a haircut today?
I did, yeah.
Ah, wow. So when this is down, is it just this big wave that just comes down to here, like kind of
super long? I could put it in a man bun right now. That's how long it is.
Can block your eyeball.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, what's that? The emo songs that? Yeah.
Chris Simmons asked me, what camera is SteveO using for IG pics? Dude, for IG pics, I'll either use my GoPro or my phone. But GoPro software for your phone is horrible now. Whenever they switch to quick, everything went away where you used to be able to grab a photo of any video that you were doing, and now I have to upload it into Adobe Premiere Pro and then take a picture from it and then put that in Photoshop, and it's just it's a lot of work. But yeah, GoPros work really good, but geez, man, iPhone cameras these days are so good, and then you can just go through the video and then screenshot a picture, and you can get a great picture.
You cannot tell either. The new, back in the day, you could tell oh, look at this crappy thing shot on a phone. Now it's you cannot tell. There's stuff is so good now, just in general, that we're hit the pinnacle. There will never be something that's better than an MP3. Never ever. I mean, to our ears, the phones that where they are right now is the best they will ever be.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, if you have a couple or the past couple versions of iPhone, they have a cinematic camera view now, and you put that on and you make videos, and you're like, wow, I'm a professional.
I'm really good.
Professional. I feel really good about this.
By the way, speaking of professional, the greatest thing that ever happened, if you guys looked at this and you're wondering what is a scamming thing, we didn't post the video yet here. But people will start to see it just went live. But somebody tried to scam us, some kid, and it was amazing. It made Steve's and I's night because they just got caught up. It was great.
It did. But you guys should I share the video in the comments? But then everyone's gonna leave. We'll share it at the end. We'll share it at the end because it's so good. You're gonna leave.
Yeah, it's really so great. The dude who every one of you have seen the guy's videos. He's everywhere. Somebody pretended to be him, and they sent me a message that they wanted this free stuff, and it just didn't feel right. And we ended up finally tracking the real him down. And he's like, no. So he did a video all about calling and busting this dude who tried to scam us, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And there's a couple curses, and it's so worth it.
Yeah, definitely is. There's a wave. And there's a really weird wave of, and I'm not categorizing anybody, but that they want to do cleaning just for social media.
Yeah.
And that's not a thing. That will never be a big enough thing for you to actually have a career off of it. If I'm wrong and someone does this, great. I do see satisfying window cleaning channels out there, but they usually have to buy the content from other people to even put it up there, and then don't get any money from it.
Yeah.
So there's this new thing of people wanting to do that. And I think that's maybe what this person wanted to do was have a YouTube channel all about cleaning. And that was their main revenue source, which is not a thing. It's not a thing.
You know what it is though, is that everybody has a voice now, but not everybody needs a voice, right? Like, well, I shouldn't say that since I'm a voice anyway, but that's the thing is like back in the day when we were kids, we're like, I want to be a movie star. Now people are just like, I'm going to be a YouTuber because it's so much more obtainable. And I could do that even if no one ever watches. You can't be a movie star and be in movies nobody ever watches. Like you have to get hired onto movies. But with YouTube, you can just do content forever. So there's so many people doing that now that it's this big hype thing because they see, Mr. Beast or whatever else. And they're like, I could do that. And it's like, so can, 30 million other people have tried. So.
Well, like we've talked about it a couple of times on here. There's these other guys that post quite a bit of videos about door-to-door sales, and they're not selling window cleaning. They're selling wholesale whole house scrub downs.
Yeah,
this is what they're selling. Like it's not window cleaning. It's not professional window cleaning, but it is a thing and it's working. And a lot of people are using that, and they're using Pure Water system to do it. But then there's just all these. This year, it's not like new products. It's like these new
things,
Yeah, I don't even know how to categorize it. It's so, I feel old. It's the first summer or like year where I'm like, what is this new thing that's like coming up that is, it's crap. Some of it's crap, but in a way, and I don't mean to say this if you're watching this channel and this is what you do is door-to-door sales and you're just doing the outside of windows and that's what you're doing. Just know that it's probably best that you do create a professional business and that you do understand all of the parts of like professional window cleaning if you wanted to continue. If your goal is to make quick money, you could like follow these weird things out there, but I don't know. It's just a weird time.
I am not the shy one to not say this, but I hate door-to-door. I think it's awful. I don't do it. If somebody does it, that's cool. Like anybody's right in their business. But what I see with that stuff is now because they're videos. How many times have I've seen it more within the past like month or two of people with either scripts about door-to-door or talking about door-to-door or what should they do door-to-door than I ever have seen ever, because it's never been a door-to-door thing until these guys came out and now everybody wants to do door-to-door. So that's just like the like, it's not even a bad thing. It's just, that's what it is. When people see a lot of people doing something or see something, they're like instantly, that's why content creators get to do what they do. That's why there's a big WCR logo behind SteveO's head, is because the more people that watch that, the more people are like, oh, that's awesome. Steve uses this.
Yeah.
By the way, I had somebody on chat literally just minutes ago ask me what mix Steve uses, because we sell like a Steve's Chemicals, and they're like, yeah, I know what it says on there, but what does Steve use? I don't know. Well, how many capfuls? Try it. You have to try it. Would you ask him? No, I'm not going to ask him how much soap he uses because he doesn't measure it. I'll tell you.
It's all personal preference. Like you don't like much soap. I like a lot of soap. It's like it is what it is. There's times where I add the high slide. There's times that I not. Since October, I've been using Crazy Larry's, and then I'll add in a little bit of EBC Glide lately. I don't know.
You're like a chemist.
Dude, I'm a chemist, man. I'm also not like married to anything in window cleaning as far as like I have to use this certain thing.
Yeah. It's not the same thing all the time.
Yeah, exactly. We have tons of questions that are coming in.
Great. By the way, if you didn't know, and I want to say what's up to a bunch of people, KT's, what's going on? Victor, of course, what's up? I'll flick the hair for you there. Chris Simmons, what's going on? Kyle Cook, of course. Craig is here. Carlos is here. A whole bunch of you. If you're here and you want to chat, that's literally why we do this. So put comments in, and even if it's just the word old to tell Steve that he is getting old, that is totally fine. But put your questions in, and we're actually going to answer them or talk about them.
Here's our first one of the night from Big Stu. How did you get your first customer? Do you remember your first job? Gosh, my first customer happened just from a company that I was working at for college for window cleaning. So, I mean, I don't think I could honestly remember that.
Really?
I don't think I remember my first customer.
It's not seared into your brain?
No, during that time I was doing a lot of things in college. So
yeah. on your first job, by the way, if you guys have a story and you're watching, tell us the story of your first job, because I want to see them. But did you know even if you don't remember the first job, like the first time or second time that you did windows, were you like, this is cool, this is good? Or were you like, what am I doing?
Honestly, when I did it for like the first 2 years that I did it, I did not think much more of it than just going to work, and that was it. And it was a total college-based thing, and we were just working for some guys, and we just did work when we could. It was 3 of us, and I don't ever even remember like looking back at the job and be like, oh wow, that looks good. Like I remember just completing the job and just like getting out of there. It just it was just totally different than from when I took a tiny break and then restarted again. That was when I really started. That's when I took my liking to it. Like I always enjoyed it. And even when I moved out to California, worked at a restaurant, I cleaned their windows and everything, but I was still just using like Home Depot equipment. I had no clue at all about any sort of supplier or any sort of online anywhere. So that was the really weird thing for me. But once I started to know that, I could not stop buying tools. I bought tons of wagtails for like a long time. Actually, wagtail tools were what really kind of taught me how to fan well. I know you don't like them, but
all those years ago, would you ever have thought you'd be living the lavish lifestyle of a window cleaning equipment salesman?
No, but I would say this. And that I, for some reason, in 2012, took a huge liking to all the different tools. And when I worked at the fish I worked at, I got so many people to like switch their tools just based off of like showing them, be like, dude, try this. Like first time I got a Sorbo, I was like, try this. It's so good. Boom. They all wanted one. Nice. I got a Ninja. They all wanted one after I got one. Like I just started, and I just spent my own money on all my tools because they wouldn't buy me anything, but they didn't think it was necessary. Yeah. So I would just buy so much stuff.
You showed them how necessary it was.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. I remember my first job, and real quick, it was a commercial job because it was like friends of my mom's who didn't laugh at me for being a window cleaner. But that job took me about 3 hours to do the first time, and I got like $79 or something. I was like, yeah, buddy, man. Dude, I made like $20 an hour. Like, and after that, I still did that job when I sold my company. It took us about 18 minutes. That's how bad I was the first job.
I remember that even though with Jim, sometimes there was a job we had down in a town, and he would say, man, every time we used to come here, this was like the big job of the day. And now we do it in 45 minutes and we're on to like a huge home. Yeah. And it's so great, and that's just the advancement of tools.
Yeah. Well, Victor said, SteveO in Jersey, how do you guys remove tape glue off tinted windows? I think this is a really good one because tint comes up a lot. So what do you do?
Gosh, the one time that I really had to do this, I used Goo Gone and removed all the adhesive from, tint that was pretty well on there for a while. The tint didn't damage at all. And that, as you know, is like sometimes a rarity. And that if you mess with tint just in like the littlest bit, you see scratches. I've had tint that was applied to the outside of a skylight. And there were these skylights that you could unlatch and then twist in so you could clean them. And the person told me, and they're actually a good friend, but I never cleaned their house again. They said, just be careful with these because the last person scratched them. And I was like, how would they scratch them? I freaking washed with my washer sleeve. I squeegee it. When I detailed my towel, it scratched all the tint around the whole entire side. I was like, oh, it's like, that's why. I was like, whoever told you to put tint, like a tint layer on the outside of this is stupid. Like this should not be a thing. So that was everything.
That's what people are always like, is this safe on tint? And the answer is always no, because you never know, but there's good tint and bad tint. Like if you've seen some of these ceramics, these new tints, dude, you can't scratch them with a freaking car key, and then there's these other ones that have that almost purplish tinge to them. I know you've seen those, the cheap ones. Mm-hmm. Yep. Those are the ones where if you sneeze or a bird flies too close, the things scratch. And it's like, these are going to look awful because it's just like plastic saran wrap on your windows. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. But I mean, Goo Gone is what I've always used for anything, but I've also been very hesitant to ever say to a customer like, oh yeah, we can for sure get that off, because typically I'll be like, it's tint. Like if you want it off, like we could just like remove the tint.
Yeah. I've said that one time. I'm like, hey, there's no real way to get this off except remove the tint. They're like, cool, take it off that window. I'm like, well, that's like going to cost you like $20. And it took me like, an hour's worth of work, and I lost. Yeah. But he's like, yeah, just take it off. I'm like, okay.
Why did
Because people think it's just like a sticker. You're just removing a sticker, but that stuff is like on there.
Magic eraser Magic Eraser is another one that actually does work well. If there's a little bit of like grease or a small bit adhesive, that one's a good one.
This is going to sound so stupid, but magic erasers, I always used kind of work-wise, but I never used them like just around the house. And I was literally walking through my house like a month ago, and I'm like, man, I got to paint everything. And I'm like, hold on. My daughter was cleaning shoes, so she had the magic eraser out. So I'm like, I'll try it. Dude, I went around my whole house for 2 solid days just getting scuffs off the walls, and it looks brand new. I had no idea ever that they were that amazing.
It's magic.
Yeah, I went on to Amazon and bought the fake ones, you know, the Magic erasers, and I got like 50 of them for like $12 or something, and now I just have this giant like suitcase full of magic erasers that I never use up.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. Let's see here. We have so many things to get to.
KT's.
Yeah.
Did you do that one yet?
Nope.
KT's window cleaning, 4 or 5 rounds, but door to door. So 4 or 5. So door hanging and door knocking is different. If I put something on a mailbox or a door handle or whatever, 5 ups always, right? 1 to the left, 3 across the street, 1 to the right, 5 ups, beautiful. Door knocking means now I'm interrupting you. And before anybody answers, when was the last time somebody knocked on your door and you were like happy to talk to them? Every time they walk to the door and you're like, hey, yeah, like what? And they're like, hey, my name's Steve and I'm with, something pest control. And you're like,
yeah,
you know, like it never ends well. Even if you book the service, you're not happy about it. You're like, yeah, this guy bugged me.
I had a guy, and I remember you telling me a story. I forget, it was maybe like a month ago about someone that came to your door. But I had a guy come to my door, and he was selling, and this was 7 p.m. on a Friday night, and he was trying to sell me on a new security, a Vivient for my house. And I was like, I told the guy, it's like, it's 7:30 on a Friday night. Do you think? And he was like, can I come into your house and show you all the stuff? I was like, 1, no, we're putting our kid down. And 2, it's not that I don't know you or that I don't trust who you are, but this is just a horrible time to even be coming by and asking this. And so I said, hey, let me get a business card from you. And if I actually do know Vivian, I'm interested in it. Oh, I don't have any business cards. Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Yeah. I don't ever like go against the hustle, because those guys hustle, man. A door-to-door dude, that is by far the hardest job. Like only followed up by like the people at the mall, or like when you walk through Sam's Club and somebody's selling something there. But dude, they have hustle. I'm not taking that away from them at all. It takes a special kind of salesman, and I'm not that kind of special salesman. So
I once did a job for cell phone sales, and I only did it for about 3 weeks, but it was cell phone sales for T-Mobile. And this was maybe back in 2010. And it was a deal where you were trying to get them to cancel their plan and to buy this plan. And then you would have to you would make out a whole entire table of here's the pros, here's the cons, here's why you should do this, here's why you shouldn't do that. Your fee of getting out is only this. So when you look at it over a year, you save this. It was the biggest freaking scam thing ever. And I just didn't know how these guys did it, but it was hard. It was really, and it was in a mall, and you weren't allowed to approach people. So if people came up, you could just try to grab them in and get it, but I couldn't do it.
It's tough, man. I don't go against the hustle, but there's so many better ways, dude. Spend how much you make an hour, spend 1 day's worth of money and buy a wrap for your car, or flyers, door hangers, whatever.
Not to shut you off, not to cut you off, but Windows guys made a really a lot of town here's are making a guy get a permit for door to door.
Yeah, we have that.
You have that?
Mm-hmm. Well, we also have a because I'm in a subdivision, and our subdivision is no soliciting, and no one cares except for the Karens on next door who are like, "Be careful, somebody's coming to my door," and it's like, yeah, they're doing a job. Just be polite. It's like. Right. Somebody comes to your door, just be like, cool. Like, hey, I'm not interested. Thank you, man. Don't be a jerk. Don't be like, did you see the sign? No, we didn't. Otherwise, he wouldn't be there.
Gotta love it. Yeah. That's what our Facebook group is all the time. Watch out. They're coming. Ugh. Let's see here. Andy, water fed a door with French windows after the paint had water spots. What would you do? Is it bad paint?
Hold on. I'm reading that again. Water fed a door with French windows. Got it. After the paint had water spots. Oh, So you water fed French windows after they had just got painted or recently, and you got water spots. Is the
Oh,
paint bad?
oh, did the actual paint yeah, the paint dried bad with spots. That's what I'm thinking he's saying.
So two things. You can pull minerals from paint that has not been cured. Like you should be waiting like a week or two. I know they say like a day or two, but like you should be waiting a little bit because remember, pure water strives to be dirty and it's always trying to like get minerals. Well, if the paint's not cured, there's tons of minerals. It just soaks up the minerals and then leaves it on the glass. So yeah, always, 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 if something's freshly painted, give it some time.
I'm like very odd about sometimes if I see a home that the French windows that are nicely painted, you know, I'll use water fed on that. But if I see like a front door and I'm just unsure of it, that's like one thing. Sometimes I'll be like, I'm just going to do it traditionally just in case. Yeah. Just, I don't know. It'd probably be 100% fine. I once had a stained garage door where I went ahead and did the grids with water fed pole. And I go back and at the bottom of the door, there's just a bunch of stain, just like they came and ran off the door. And like, and so what I did though, which was crazy, I just wiped down everything with a microfiber towel. Looked perfect. Was nothing, but I was like, oh shit kind of moment. Like, oh man, I'm paying to restain a garage door. Like this is happening. But I don't know, things can happen.
My turnaround story like that has nothing to do with water fed, but I had cut myself on a razor and didn't see it. And I was in this old people's home and they had tulle, you know, like that see-through bug mesh looking stuff next to all the windows in white. And I'm cleaning and doing whatever else. And I'm like kind of sticky. So I keep wiping my hand. I'm like, what is like, and I look down and my hand is just covered. I looked over and all of their blinds for the past 3 windows had blood, like dripped in like, cause I was moving and it was like flinging all over everything. And the old guy was like, I think you cut yourself. I'm like, oh man, I had to like replace all his blinds.
Man.
Anyway, turn around and it was the same thing kind of, except for microfiber didn't fix it.
Just new blinds.
On a side note, Galveston for IWCA. Yes, I will be there. I'm not sure if Steve will be going yet. That would be up to Steve, I guess. But IWCA in Galveston, it's in Texas, so you got to go. But the huge convention is coming up in Nashville, and we're both going to be there with Austin and the OG himself, Mr. John Lee.
Yes. Families are coming. All kinds of people are coming. It's gonna be crazy.
I forgot that.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane.
I shouldn't have forgot that. Aren't we supposed to be hanging out like Saturday after the show, like families or something? We talked about that.
Yeah, something like that. We'll see what happens. See if we don't kill each other first. So yeah. Andy says that the paint was done for a few years, but I water fed the door after it dried, the water left marks on the door. So if the homeowner said something, is it my fault? God, that's so weird.
It's hard to tell though that it was really you that left marks, because like the concept of what's actually happened is that means you'd have to pull minerals. The minerals would then have to dry back on and somehow embed them back in to not be able to be removed. Like, it just seems weird. Like it's not that magical water.
Right.
It's rainwater. Same thing.
I had a job like that just recently. They had a yellow painted front door and I was just doing traditionally. And after it, I was like, there was these drip marks on the paint just between like 2 of the windows. It was one of these doors that have like windows just like mismatched everywhere and they're fogged. And there was this running mark on 2 of them. And then I started like looking up like in the entryway and someone had pressure washed everything like 3 days. And I saw just dirty drip marks like everywhere. And I was like, I wonder if they used something. Well, that's it. And then I just moved on with the job. I never heard about it. So,
have you ever been to somebody too where they didn't know maybe you did pressure washing or not? You got there and somebody had used stuff and like every window was like you had to like almost like chisel it because they didn't rinse anything well, and it was just.
Here I don't render that much because not a lot of people do soft washing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But you may have seen this. I think I saw you commented on Facebook. I had a customer that one of his customers used crud cutter. Have you ever heard of crud cutter?
Yeah.
Used crud cutter on the whole outside of their home and etched every single window on the whole back side of the house.
Did this just happen? Did somebody just talking about that? Yeah.
This just happened. But the guy, he wanted to get a lot of people's perspective on it because it was, you could not do anything to it. And in certain light, it looked okay. And then you get underneath and look at it, and it was just a mess. I said to the guy, I was like, I pretty much know like one person in the whole entire nation that could probably do like fix all that, but it's going to cost exactly. Yeah. But I was like, it is going to cost you so much money, like so much money that. Yeah, so.
Did the homeowner do the crud cutter, or was he? Oh, so he's kind of off the hook at least.
Yeah. It's totally on the homeowner, 100%.
It's worse when the homeowner's like, no, I didn't do anything. Must have been you. And you're like, this is impossible. And like, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm suing.
That's not going to happen. Yeah. But this time of year, you see so many crazy things because people are trying weird stuff like that. And then you get somebody that's like, dude, what do I do for this person? They're like, you say, well, that seems like a them problem. Unfortunately. Yeah. I got lost here as far as what we were doing. Kyle Cook asked a really good question. So had my first really bad house with 2 smokers inside, scraping and steel wool, the yellow gunk of the windows. What would be a good ratio for ammonia to help remove? Man,
don't use ammonia. Use TSP. It's found in the paint section. It smells like fish, but it works like you have never seen anything ever. You can literally scrub and squeegee a window that is like you can't see through because of the nicotine, and works just like anything.
And you don't need a lot. Like you don't want to use too much. And they do have like a safe version that you can kind of use too.
Phosphate-free TSP or something. It's like,
yeah. But what else have I used? And Dawn, this probably would not be very helpful. Dawn has like a degreaser that's really highly concentrated. You can spray on windows. Man, I haven't done a smoker's home in a while, but I used to do, what was it? Oh, a cigar store. You ever done a cigar store where they smoke in the store? It is freaking horrible. You will do that place every week and you will ruin a mop every single week. There's no way to do it. But yeah, we did a cigar store every week and it was a disaster where we literally started telling people, we're like, we're just doing outside only. And they had blinds. So you had the blinds, like it just,
fingers get it.
Yeah.
I did restaurants. They were Greek restaurants, but this guy had owned a bunch of them and he was Greek. So there were gyro places where like the whole gyro thing's out. And I remember the first time I did it, I'm on a ladder and the TVs are all kind of mounted up as like a bar-y kind of like gas station-y restaurant. And I go like this on the TV and my whole hand just sunk into like probably a good 16th inch of like old grease. And I'm like, this is that. And that was every job we had to use TSP because it was everywhere. Everything, the tables, the floors, everything was just covered in grease. Their ventilation was absolute terrible.
Oh man, just Jacob's just going off.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to ignore him. He always wonders why we ignore him, and he's just, it's cool.
It's cool. Let's see here. Oh man, so many good questions here. So Victor, we answered that question. Craig, what's the most you ever charged for a single job? You probably charge more than I have for a single job. I think pressure washing tickets would be a lot bigger.
Yeah, like hourly or job wise. I mean, I've had jobs that were single jobs, probably window cleaning, definitely in the 5 figures, and pressure washing. I've had jobs in the almost 6 figures, but I mean, hourly, it's all pretty comparable. The most I ever did hourly, I think, was like, man, I don't even remember now. I did a lot of like $250 an hour roof jobs, but I know I did a couple that were like $700 man hour roof jobs, but that's a roof. That's just a different thing. That was not an all the time. If anybody tells you they're making that much money every day of the year, they're lying. Yeah.
And it's one of those things too, where, and early in my career, one of my bosses had to sit me down one day because I came back and I was like, man, and it was my first time complaining about a job in like 2 months. And I was like, why did this bid get messed up? Why does this happen? And she was just like, you know what? Sometimes the jobs go really well. Sometimes the jobs just don't go great at all. And it doesn't go great on your side. And that's just something you're going to have to learn through time. That's always going to happen. And that's never going to go away. And you just have those good jobs. But for me, I would say we didn't have like crazy big. I don't even know if I ever closed a 5-digit like window cleaning sale. I know I closed a lot of 4 digits.
I would rather, I mean, I'm talking bigger commercial jobs. I've never done a house. I've never done a house that big. I don't think, not quite 5, but I would rather have a house that was like under 1,000 because I would be in and out and the people would be super stoked because they like literally saved to do this. So they're like, their money's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got this. When you go to those big giant houses that have other houses, and there's like 3 houses in a complex, you're just help. They didn't even know there was a difference. They're like, did the maid do that? And you're like, no, the window cleaners were here. Like, oh, okay. Like they don't care.
It's a cooler thing almost is when you see how much business a customer has done with you over time.
Yeah.
That's almost like a cooler number than just what you've done on like one job. Like I've kept this person for years. We've done this amount, and it's not even that big of a job. It's just we've done it so many times, So.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the repeat because then people, they trust you, they like you, they know you have kids, they talk about your kids, they talk about they remember stuff, and dude, they're just genuinely happy. I would rather, do a genuinely happy customer than do these big giant ones just because the ticket's there. Because then when you're done, you feel defeated and you feel like a piece of dog poop.
Yeah. I had a customer reach out to me a couple weeks ago, and I just totally forgot to reach out to her. And I've done her home like for I don't know how many years, every fall and spring. And she messaged me. She's like, so where's my spring message? I was like, oh my gosh. I said, I am so sorry. She goes, you always message me every fall and spring. I thought you had died or something had happened. I was like, no. I was like, we'll get you on the schedule like right away. I'm so sorry. But it feels good.
Yeah.
Get a message like that every once in a while. Like they didn't just say, oh, well, we'll just, get the other guy. They're like, we want to make sure we do it,
Here's a question for everybody who's watching and a question for you, but what's the worst anybody has ever made you feel on the job? You think about it. I'm going to tell you my story.
Yeah.
We were training a new guy. So I was out there training these guys. We had a full day, whatever. There's 4 of us on the job. And this lady who was probably late teens was walking around with these like clicky high heels and a mini skirt. And she was just doing that to be, nonsense. And the mom starts yelling at her, well, we're taking windows down and we're working on the inside and outside. All the windows are open. And she's screaming and screaming and screaming. And she goes, if you keep effing up, you're going to end up like these guys cleaning windows. And we all just like looked at each other. Yeah. That made everybody feel totally awful until we went home and looked at the hourly that we made, and it made sense. But yeah, that was the worst, where it was like, oh, like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of anything like ever in window cleaning where someone made me feel like really ashamed, because I was really good about just like putting on my headphones and just and just working, and sometimes not talking to people. We had, and Jim still has this account. We had this huge, large account, and we had this lady that was, she was not nice, and she would always come out, even though we did this job every 4 weeks and traveled like an hour to do it. She would come out and be like, oh, it's going to rain in like 5 days. You guys need to go home. But she just didn't respect us at all. Every time she passed us by, it was like not a hi. It was only talk to us when something was wrong. Never a hi, nothing like that. That's not horrible. One of the worst things that's ever happened as far as making me feel like just like the little kid was actually when I used to move. I used to do moving like a lot of summers during college. Yeah. And I remember I was with this huge, like burly guy. We were moving a piano. And the customer looks at him. He's like, okay, I feel confident with you. And he looked at me. He's like, so what are you going to do? And I was like, oh, man.
So that's why you got swole. You're like, I'm going to get tattoos and muscles. Well, I'll
there's that one guy. It was Larry.
Yeah, one time I was doing this this live with this guy named SteveO, and this guy jumps in the chat and he says that when he heard me talk for the first time, he almost lost his bowels. And that right there, I was like, oh man, if I cared about that guy's opinion, I would have totally been bummed. But it was just Jacob, so I was like,
it's just Jacob. I mean, the name says itself. It's just Jacob.
If that was Jeremy Pummel or like any of these other guys, then I would have felt bad. I mean, Mike's here. He's always nice. I'll take it from him.
Oh yeah.
Victor, Victor's always going to be good. He's always going to ask amazing questions. If one of those guys said something like that, I'd totally be bummed. But
dude, Mike's like the king. Like he said it, like loves big commercial, makes me energized. Nothing makes me less energized than huge commercial. I look at huge commercial. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be here so many days. But then you see him like this is his time of year where he has all his huge accounts. But I did want to say a very good quote from Mike that some jobs you have to eat a poop sandwich. And that is so true. You couldn't say it better. And that sometimes it's just a poop sandwich and it's not going to get any better. And you just got to finish it.
That's so many things though. Cause we talk about that. And what we do now is like, sometimes you have people who are just super awesome. They're like, dude, put my card in. Yeah. Like Jeremy's awesome. Jeremy will always be like, cool. Let's do it. But then there's other things where it's like, this job went south. We we shipped the stuff to the wrong place or something came broken. Now the guy's mad, and now we get chargebacks where these people steal products from us all the time. And it's like, you take the good, and some of them are just like you're walking. You know, every race sucks until you finish. You just got to take another step and get closer to the end, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely true. Let's get back to some questions here. So we have so many good ones. Let's see here. Where do we go? Okay, we did single job. Carlos, did 2 homes in my first day, total of 80 windows in and out. After getting an ablation procedure, I was beyond exhausted. Homeowner saw me huffing and puffing on his camera upstairs. Oh, you didn't ask the question, but I hope you feel
ablation, by the way, is a type of heart surgery my wife had also. So when you have, I don't know if it's his same thing, but you have cardio or tachycardia.
Yeah.
Yes.
My dad's having this like next week.
Yeah, they like will literally zap some of the blood vessels to like calm things down, and yeah.
Crazy, man. I couldn't imagine, but yeah, my dad's actually going through all this right now. My dad's been going through like 4 months of just crazy heart issues, but he's a strong man who's getting through it. Craig asked, what do you call the purple/white speck that appears between the pane? I'm assuming it's a factory defect, but I do not know. Most likely that is a what I would call like a broken seal, and then that little lowy coating on the inside gets a little bit of moisture and turns into a bunch of different things. It can do it can be purple
speck corrosion. Yeah,
it can be all these different like striations in the window. It can be, oh man, it can be like so
have you ever
many
seen like handprints in between the windows?
I saved a picture from May of like 2020 where there's this hand swirl that goes like this through the whole paint, and then a handprint like this. And I always show it to people when they text me and they say, hey man, what is this? I'm like, it's this. If you need to show your customer this picture so they really see like what it really looks like, show them this. And they just need to contact the window manufacturer.
The craziness about a window, what's actually happening is that, so inside a window, there's 2 panes. It's a sandwich of glass, air gun, or like an inert gas, and then another piece of glass. And if anything breaks in there, like a broken seal, the gas escapes, but it can't create a vacuum. It has to fill it with something. So if some gas leaks, the air or ozone has to go in. And what ends up happening is the tin side on all windows, there's like very, very fine tin that actually oxidizes. And that's where you see all those like weird striations and stuff in there. It's the tin side oxidation. I think it's like phenomenally interesting because people don't even know that's how windows are made. No, window cleaners do, but like homeowners, they don't know. And you tell them that, they're like, no, it's a handprint. Like, it's from manufacturing. They're like, that's never been there.
And I would tell you this, that if you do see it ever, you should let them know. Like if and that's because every person that they do not know, they will call you back, that you have to go back and explain it. Every single time I've been like, oh, we got to rush, or I didn't say it to them, they always call back. They're like, you didn't clean that window. Yeah. You go back, you look in, you say, I cleaned that window. You can go up to the window, you can touch it. There's no dust, there's no dirt. And then you go through like the explanation of it. But I keep it to that like real, just like try to be simple about it. Like, it's a leak seal. It can look a million different ways from Sunday as far as what it looks like in between, but you got to contact your window manufacturer, get a new window.
What does kind of suck is when you're using water fed, if the water's cold enough and there's no gas left, there's a transfer of temperature and then it looks really bad. Yeah. And then they're like, no, the pole did it. You can see it's like way worse. And you're like, yes, technically, but that's not really.
It'll dissipate.
Yeah. It'll get better, but not good.
What's up?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Boom. Good stuff. All right. Anyways, Victor Garul, SteveO at Jersey, what's your favorite tool and what is the most important tool in your kit?
Are you asking me right away? Yeah. Man, I thought you were going to go. I was going to piggyback. So so as you say, the most favorite tool and the most important tool, there's 2. So my favorite tool would probably be steel wool, which sounds ridiculous, but like it is just like the finish. It's like the icing. Like anything that ever happens, if you're just to the end and you're just like there, touch a steel wool and you're there. So that's probably my favorite tool. The most important tool I would say is water fed because it simplifies things, makes it easier. I just love water fed. I couldn't, knowing what I know now, could not be a window cleaner again without water fed. So those are my 2.
I'm going to choose two of my favorite time-saving tools that have eliminated a lot of other tools. One would be Mormon 2.0 handle. To me, that is, even though a lot of people feel like it's cheap, it just does so much that it's eliminated a lot of other tools for me. And then one of the most important tools that I have to say that's been a huge time saver also is the IPC Techno Pad with any kind of pad, just due to that it just does a lot. So those are my two favorites for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the Technopad thing too, which is funny. It's been out for like a really long time until you started talking about it. And like nobody really saw the benefit of it, but hitting the entire window like that and just kind of going over it without having to like bust your knuckles to do it, man, that does make a heck of a difference.
And the way the handle's designed, like everything about it, and the way that it can go in a loop, the swivelness of the head, how it just works with anything.
Oh, the single ladies.
Oh, God.
No, IPC really in their hand tools. I love IPC. I love everybody over there. Some of their hand tools, they don't hit it out of the park, but that one they sure did. Like that one, it just worked right. First iteration, perfect. Some of the other ones they got are a little bit need to kind of go back to the drawing board. But
Jeremy Pummel said that he's going to buy something for me tonight, so I just told him to get me the Xero Triple.
Walnut pad?
But you're putting it in, so he's going to buy me the Xero Triple. But you're putting it in.
Wow, that is amazing.
I know. Yep. So should be a good one.
Congratulations to you, SteveO, for getting a free triple.
I know. It's pretty exciting.
You've probably already gotten a free triple. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, it's too big. It's too much for me.
You mean it's on the way?
No.
Of course I haven't got one of those. It's still
Max Plus is it for me. It takes me all my strength to pick that up and load that in my truck, where nope, I ain't doing anything heavier than that. There's no way.
Dude, have you ever been around a Hydrocart 2X electric?
I couldn't imagine.
It's like so much. It's like cartoon. Like if you have one pole on there, your pole literally is bent back this way. Like you're like trying to like fire hose it. It puts out 4 gallons a minute. Pumps 4 gallons a minute. It's nuts. Anyway, sorry.
Let's see here. Craig, how do you price residential clients that want monthly service? Ooh, you'd be a good person to answer this. Been having a few requests, not sure how to come up with a reasonable price.
Yes. Residential monthly, they're not getting it done every month because you're giving them a deal, right? So let's get that out of the way right away. If you think that you need to change the price, you're missing the big point of why somebody's having it done that often. My most frequent person, I did have, I guess every 2 weeks, but I had every 3 weeks and I had monthly and all that. And all those people were just views that I get my house cleaned every 2 weeks. Why would I not get my windows cleaned once a month? Like it's not price. So if you say, hey, this whole thing's done, I'm going to save you $5. They don't necessarily care. So don't beat yourself up on that. Let them know and remind them of why they're doing that, man. This view is going to be spectacular all the time. And don't just remember, you're getting it done once a month, but if you need extra service or a bird hits it or anything, you let us know. Like it's not the money, it's the why they're having it done.
Yeah. Good answer. I want to get to Nicholas G's question because he's asked it a couple of times. I got a job coming up that is 3 French windows with a total of 89 individual panes for construction style clean. Does 175 sound like a good, somewhat okay bid for in and out? This is 3 French windows with a total of 89 individual panes. 89 individual panes times 2. I would probably be at like 360 to 400.
If it was 8 windows construction clean, I'd probably be close to that 175. 89 windows for 175 construction clean? No.
He's saying I think 80. It's 3 French windows with a total of 89 individual panes.
89 panes, but they're Frenches, so like obviously one window probably has 9 windows or whatever. But it's construction style clean, probably meaning like he's talking in CCU. Yeah. I don't know, man.
What I do is if I have like a grid of 6 windows, right, like a French windows, I do pretty much each one, depending on dirtiness of a regular clean, at like $1.50 to $2 for each side of each individual one. So if you had 6 and you did it at 2, that might be a little bit much, but like $1.50, you could be at like $18. And then if I did construction, usually on that, I just double that for construction.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helps.
So you are theoretically at $3 a pane for construction clean because you're doubling it.
Yeah, probably right around there. Yeah. Well, no. No. I do $1.50 for each side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you double that. So if you're only doing one side, or is he doing ins and outs of 89?
I think he's doing ins and outs.
Oh yeah, it is for in and out. Oh gosh, yeah. No, so you're actually $6 per pane.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
$6 per pane. Let's, because I'm so good at math. I'm gonna put this out there. We'll see how close.
I always tell people when they ask me, they're like, "Hey man, what should I do for this construction clean?" Yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you my price, but I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I didn't get a lot of jobs at this price, and that was.
Yeah, $534 is what Steve would have bid for that one. No, but realistically, French's they're not as specific. I know that, but in a construction, you're going to be there a long time.
Yeah.
A long time. $1.75 is not. You're not going to be happy with $1.75. I'll tell you that.
Hey, here's a really good question from Big Stu. Any advice on how to overcome fear of starting? Got my gear, name, business cards, and shirts. Just need to get out there. Man,
he answered his own question.
Yeah,
because the only thing that matters is to go do a job.
Yeah,
like it's scary until you do it. Like, you know, like everybody wants it to be the right time, but it's like having kids or, you know, passing a kidney stone. There's no right time. It just has to happen.
Yeah, it literally is just about going out and doing it. And I know it sounds a little bit easier than maybe what it is, but that is truly what it is. And
no company ever in the very beginning had it down right. Nobody's planned that ever. I mean, Coca-Cola probably screwed things up in the beginning. You know, McDonald's was a whole different company in the very beginning. You start to work and then you figure things out and you change it and merge it. The only thing you need to worry about is your pricing to being somewhat on par now, because it's harder to change your pricing down the thing, but just do it. Just do it. Get your hustle. It looks like you got hustle with everything else. Just go out there and find the customers and get to work.
And also too, if it's something that you haven't cleaned anything yet, you know, any friends or family that you can do like right now to maybe get some experience to feel a little bit more confident, that's a really good way to do it. Or, you know, maybe, you know, if you don't have any of them close, just offering just a couple jobs, maybe a free cleaning, and just be real with them. Hey, I'm starting a business. I'd really like to, you know, clean the outside of your windows just to see how I could do it. Why not? There's many storefronts and places that you can find with no businesses in there where you can go practice on stuff like that too. I know many guys that have done that, and that's how they've gotten going, you know?
Yep, exactly. It looks like just Jacob is leaving. He's going to go hang out with TJ.
Okay.
So that's cool.
Peace. See you later.
Good one. By the way, with the new thing and the either doing it or not doing it, when you said to people, everybody who starts to is like, well, I'll just do it for free, or I'll do half price. Like, the experience, even if you're not great at cleaning windows, it may take you longer, but you could still make an amazing experience and charge the same amount of money as somebody else. You're just not making as much per hour because it's taking you a lot longer. So
yeah,
it's amazing to make your first dollar, by the way.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. It's a very good feeling. Chris Simmons said, would you rather have a job that pays really well, but they're highly demanding, or a job that's just okay pay, but they are amazingly hospitable?
Second one.
Yeah, it's nicer to have good mentality and good mental health rather than be stressed out.
100%. Being talked down to just in life, it doesn't annoy me anymore, really, but like it happens all the time. And that for me is just like when people, they don't respect your time. You know that between you and me, that's like huge thing for me, is like people that don't respect your time, or people who talk down to you, who somehow think they're better than you because of anything. Like, I don't need any of that. Like, I don't care how good your money is, you know?
Yep. No, I feel you on that one. That's for sure.
That's a lot harder in the beginning though. When like, have you ever seen somebody who's like, well, it's my first job, and you're like, yeah, no, don't do that. And they're like, yeah, but if I don't do that, I don't have any money. It's really hard to like pick and choose. After doing this for a while, you can be like, yeah, like I forget somebody else had talked about it, that they dropped like $3,000 worth of work because they're just like simplifying things and making their life easier. That'll be the greatest 3,000. You won't even miss that money because you'll be that much happier.
But it's really interesting that you said that about, we get to a point where we'll look at a job and be like, don't take that on. I had that with somebody, and they kind of set me straight one day over there. I told them, I was like, dude, if I were you, man, I think that job is going to create a lot more stress than good. Like, I would just try to do something else. He's like, dude, you got to remember, man, like, I'm just starting out. Like, I got no money. I invested everything. Like, I just need to get out there and get stuff done. I was like, one, that's actually a great attitude to have, that you're trying to get out there and get everything done. And I apologize because yes, you are right in that you're trying to get things done. You're trying to get a name put out there for you. And it's not so much about the money. It's just about getting out there and working. And sometimes you lose that perspective.
Yeah. And you know, the only way you can learn some things is to just get that poop sandwich you were talking about. Like, even us people
becoming a thing.
It is going to be a hashtag. Where's the shirts? Let's make the shirt. By the way, are we going to have a hashtag 1 clip, 2 clip for the convention?
Oh, we have to.
We have to. We're going to have to like hand them out to people and then wear them around. Yes. Yeah. We should probably make like 1 or 2 of the 2 clip ones though, and the rest all 1 clips, just because more people have those.
Actually, when I was talking to the shirt production company, they were like, that 1 clip thing, never friggin' heard of that. This 2 clip thing, we've been getting a lot of requests for this. So like, we already have everything made for it. It's just depending on how many you want to order. It's great. Yeah. You know,
there's a lot of new window cleaners who just don't know the benefits of 1 clip, so I can see it.
I'm so close on Monday. Oh no, Monday or yesterday? Monday, of making a video all about clips or clip lists. But you know what? I'm still going to do it. Still going to do it, and it's going to come out, and it's going to be
what's going to be great on the 1 clip, 2 clip shirt is we're just going to put on the 2 clip shirt a little SteveO logo, and then on the 1 clip shirt we'll put a little Jersey logo, and then there's just a bunch of people they'll be walking around. People are like, "What are these shirts? Like, I don't even get it." It'll make no sense to anybody who doesn't watch this.
Jeremy Pummel, I come up with my 1 clip shirt on. What the heck? No, that's okay. I understand that.
I told you.
Yeah, he's your boy.
Favorite guy.
He's your boy. Big Stu asks, when's the convention? The convention is going to be August 23rd, 24th, something like that. It's during that week, and it's on that Thursday.
Yeah, it is. It's later this year. You're right.
Yeah, it's later in August. But yes. You ever see those videos where someone drops like that and the middle just goes right?
It wasn't quite that. I dropped my phone and went to grab it and hit the lever on the side of my chairs.
But conventions are great, man. If you've never been, we talk about it a little bit or quite a bit on this show, and that at least go to one. It's really good for that. Yes.
I have something that I don't know that I even told you yet, but we are sponsoring because the party thing didn't work out.
Oh.
By the way, yeah, the room alone was like over $10,000.
This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Yes, but I just found out about this because this has nothing to do with me. But Alex is like, oh yeah, by the way, we're sponsoring the open bar night or something. There's like something that we're sponsoring, so we're gonna be to the thing and we're gonna have a party, and it's gonna be pretty awesome because everybody gets to drink on WCR's dime. So
are they sure? Are they sure they want to do that?
I mean, it's a fixed price, so they probably shut it off after 7 minutes when everybody drinks their drinks. But
all the pressure washers will come in and take the whole entire tab.
They're like, window cleaners, yeah, we totally love you. Give me a free beer. So we're kind of having a party.
That's gonna be fun. Yeah, I mean, if you guys are going, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of people are going this time. Maybe some surprises as far as that go. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a real fun convention. Yeah.
Steve, do you want to elaborate?
I have no elaboration on that. Let's see here from C. Mick. How crazy do you go on hard debris on the glass, such as a little paint or specks of hard debris? You include that in your pricing? One good thing to do in your pricing, and this is something that a lot of new people in the industry don't really ever comprehend, and you don't until you hear it, is that on your quote, you should have something that specifies cleaning does not include like silicone, paint, construction debris, hard water removal, basically anything that is outside of the steps of a normal cleaning. You should have on there that it doesn't include that. If you do not say that, then if you say, hey, it's $250 clean inside and outside of your windows, they're going to expect perfection for $250, depending on the customer. Yeah. Most customers are pretty cool and pretty understanding, but just know that's a big thing. And I would definitely do it because I'm guess you would probably see a lot of people that get themselves in a situation where like, oh, this customer wants to remove all this hard water and it's going to take me forever. I only bid the job at $200. I'm going to be there for 10 hours. Well, it's not part of the job. This is restoration.
It's like going to get your car washed, but then you have a chip in the paint. And we're like, well, you didn't repair my paint. Well, no, we washed your car. Like, It's one of those things, you want it to be perfect as window cleaners, but hey, I'll do that. Totally, I'll do restoration. Love restoration, but it's going to cost you X amount for restoration. So, and by the way, if you're watching in the comments, either write #1clip or #2clip, just so we can see how many shirts we need, because Carlos wants one. He's getting one of the shirts. I know Jeremy Pummel. I don't think anybody's a 2-clip person out there, but if you are, it's okay. You can pander to Steve.
If you're a 1-clip or a 2-clipper, click the like button. That's simple as that.
And if you haven't yet, subscribe, because SteveO is a struggling YouTuber who barely has 35,000 subs now. Do you know he got like 1,000 subs in the past like month?
Yeah, this month. Yeah, this time of the year is crazy. And then I've been telling everybody, just do YouTube Shorts. Like if you just want, like, not that I really even care about it, but it's kind of fun at the same time. YouTube Shorts are the best thing on YouTube right now, and you get paid for them. You can monetize shorts, and they're,
by the way, nobody can get paid for them except for SteveO. Remember the last time you're like, oh, all you have to do is get 10,000 subs and I think it's 4 million views and you're in. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? My last video got 56 views. I advertised the thing.
That was last summer with Instagram, and Instagram stopped all the monetization. They were paying big time for it. It was stupid. I mean, it was dumb. I had a video do, I forget, it was 12 million views and I got $1,200. Like, why? And I literally thought to myself, I was like, why? But I'm going to, if they're going to give me it, I'm going to take it. And that was cool to get paid by Meta, but why? Like, there's no ads. I don't know what they would have, and they stopped it, I think, due to that. It was
that video. They're like, why are we doing this? SteveO brings up a great question.
An issue.
So if any of you were doing Instagram and it stopped, it's because Steve talked to them and was like, hey guys, I don't feel comfortable with this.
But Google's got so much money from all you guys Google ads payments that they can just keep on going. So no worries on that. So sorry guys.
It's all my ad payments that I put to push my videos that get 50 views, and I'm like, I think some numbers are skewed there.
Oh man. Well, we'll definitely do the 1-clip, 2-clip shirts if they go really well at the convention. Maybe after that we'll figure out a way to maybe sell them at WCR. I don't see why they wouldn't sell them, to be quite honest with you. No one would understand it, but they would sell it.
I think it's an amazing inside joke for people who are like an actual window cleaner.
Yeah. And it's become a thing. We'll have someone like do an order with us, and then at the very end it'll say #2-clip or #1-clip.
Yeah, all the time. Or people will be like, hey, tell Steve I said #1-clip forever or something. Great. It's amazing. By the way, it's coming up. It's 59 minutes and 30 seconds we've been doing this. Are you ready to post the link to the video of where this whole thing started? If you guys are watching right now, I promise you, go watch this video. It's long, but this guy rips this scammer a new one. He name drops Alex in there too. It's great. It was a phenomenal video. This guy got caught pretending to be him to get some free stuff from us, and he got caught up in it. It's great.
Yeah, video's right there. It's a great watch. Go watch it. It's
and by the way, in his comments, #WCR or #SteveO or #me or something in his video in the comments, just so we know you saw it.
Yeah. Chris Simmons, can SpongeBoss square windows become a thing? Oh wow. Okay, I got that. Good job. Yeah.
Does not roll off the tongue, Greg.
That's a tongue twister, so I don't know.
That is a bring it back to the chalkboard thing, but it could be. It could be.
Chris is a big fan of the sponge. I've been seeing some of the videos lately. He's putting out some cool content, some good tips. It's always.
I'm always looking for new sticker ideas, also, because it is really, really hard to come up with stickers. So if anybody's got ideas for AWC stickers,
I don't know.
There you go. SpongeBoss square windows.
Yes.
Boom.
There you go. Well, what's that time again? Oh man, it's that time for the AWC magazine.
Yeah, if you haven't yet, go to awcmag.com. Get yourself a magazine. Remember, stickers do come in it. Also, if you haven't yet, subscribe to SteveO the Window Cleaner's channel, because he would love nothing more than that. He is the a budding YouTuber. with just a couple of videos under his belt, but definitely do that. And you guys know that we're reps for window cleaner too. So if you're here on SteveO's channel, it means you love him. Make sure to let him put your orders in for you if you haven't already. That would be absolutely amazing.
Yes, I appreciate it very much. And then we will be back here in 2 weeks. Unless something comes up. We never know. But, you know.
I'm on vacation next week, so I'm not going to be here next week. That's for sure.
Yes, that is true. All righty, man. Well, we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.